Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back now to non-league to Premier League. Right, so some interesting stuff has happened, so we're going to go through it. I'm not going to do a full season review because we know that last season was a real disappointment. We finished obviously in sixth. We went out in the first round of the playoffs. Wasn't what any of us expected. We come into the squad. We go into the tactics screen. Um, just certain players really didn't pull their weight. Felt a little bit sorry for Villa. I mean, if we look at his history last season, 21 goals and 7 appearances, average rating of 7.15. None too shabby at all for a young lad who's up front. I mean, he's very young. He's still got his best years ahead of him. Well, 25 now actually. He was 24 when we first come. But a fantastic season, very well rounded as a player, I think, and somebody who could probably make it in the Premier League. Um, we was obviously very disappointed with the likes of Ollie Watkins. You can't see Ollie Watkins because I'm in the middle of making all the transfers for this season, and he's one of the one that's gone. So if we come into the transfer news, and we go transfer history, you'll see Ollie Watkins has gone to Everton for 11 million. We sold Josh Da Silva for 4.4 million to Bristol City. And we've brought in so far, obviously, Baptiste Roland, who very good defender. I think him at the back will be brilliant. Very good physically. Mentally, he's decent. Very good technically at the moment. Probably gonna be a very good Premier League defender, I would say. Bearing in mind the lad's only 20 years old. So very excited about that. And then we brought in Walter Gomez, striker up front, just as backup really, because we're starting to get a little bit shy. Obviously, Villa is going to be the man who's going to be leading the lines this season. However, we had such a disappointing season last season. I was really disappointed in how we finished. So I wouldn't normally be looking to switch jobs at this point in my career. I mean, if we look at me here and we go into my history, where are we actually? I hate this game at times. Misclicks. So obviously we was at Solihull Moors, and then last season we come to Brentford. I would normally stay at a club for quite a while, but let me show you my inbox. We had an interview in the summer, kind of the beginning of June, I want to say, end of May. Never heard anything. And then would you look at that Wolves Premier League team? So next season we are going to be in the Premier League. This is not a job I'm going to turn away. 51 grand a week we'll be on at Wolves. That's massive, huge improvement. We're going to have a transfer budget of 44.5 million, a wage budget of 2.7 million. So we're very good. We're happy with this. Obviously, they're looking for Portuguese and high reputation players. They want young players coming through the youth system, play entertaining football. All of that, I think we can do. Nothing there that we're upset about. Obviously, the cup competitions to have a quarter final of the Carabao Cup, that's unusual. Most clubs in England now don't really concentrate on that, and they want us to qualify for the Euro Cup too, which is seventh, I believe, in the Premier League. So I'm not going to take you through it all here, obviously. When we come back in a couple of minutes, I'll show you through the Wolves squad, who I've got in, who I've got out, because I won't come back until we've done all the friendlies, and we'll have a full review of the Wolves squad, how we're setting up, how we're going to play, and obviously then the first game of the season. So I'm well excited. I hope you boys are well excited as well. I'd really like to push on into Europe. I know they want us to qualify for the European Cup too. But looking through the Wolves squad, they've got some real good players there already. And I think that with a couple of additions, we could make the Europa League. Don't want to put my neck on the line with it. I did say that I thought that we'd be going up with winning the championship with Brentford this season. It's a horrible one to walk away from, but with the disappointment of last season, feels a little bit like maybe I lost the dressing room. I mean, the last 6 games were absolutely awful. We had 2 team meetings and they just didn't pick up. They didn't improve. Maybe it was the system didn't just suit the players, but for who we had in the midfield and especially who we had in the attacking three, we should have done so much better. We really should. We had a crap start to the season, fantastic mid-season, and then at the very, very end, we just dropped off completely. So that'll be it for there, boys and girls. We'll come back now in a couple of minutes and I'll show you through everything with Wolves. Let's go. Right then, guys, I said we'd be back, and here we are. Well, my oh my, has it been an interesting summer. Got rid of a few players, and we brought just a few players in. Not many, but we've added some real quality to the side. So let's jump into it, shall we? Transfer history. So out, we have got rid of Wilfried Zaha, 49.5 million to Real Madrid. Getting on now, 30 years old, still very, very good technically and physically as well, don't get me wrong. But massive person off of our wage bill and great money for this club considering we paid 27 million for him last year. Good profit, good bit of business. Gelson Martins went to Sevilla for 33 million. Again, nice. Another player. Not actually like past his peak yet in by any certain means, but I prefer Pedro on the right hand side. So again, took a loss on that one, but 33 million for him, wasn't too upset with that. And on somebody who I actually wanted to keep, but he wanted away from the club, so we had no choice really but to get rid of him. We brought him in for 36. We sold him on for 25. Not the best really. I mean, he had 2 decent seasons, but not amazing. But I was looking forward to working with him. Johnny then we let go to Shakhtar for 17.5 million. Decent left back, but plays higher up the pitch. Not as good like far back, and I do play a flat back 4, as you know. Bought him for 17.5 million. We sold him for 17.5 million. So he's been at the club for free effectively. Not bad. Connor Cody, we let go to Celtics. He was kicking up a fuss that he wasn't like right on the first team. Again, only reason why I let him go, truth be told, is because he's older. If he was younger, there's no way I would have been letting his transfer go through. We brought him in for 2 million though, sold him for 11 million at 30, where he's going to start coming up past his best. Brilliant. Then these are all just loan moves. Obviously, we lost Traore, Gomez, and Shabana on free transfers before we come here. That's something that we couldn't do. So we brought in 137 million. If we skip over to the left-hand side here, boys, you'll see 111 million spent. First one, 43 million, Ben Chilwell from Leicester. What a left back. Absolutely chuffed with this. 26 years old, so he's going to be in the squad for what? 4 years, maybe 5, unless we find somebody else who's younger, but don't see him going anywhere. Very, very good player. Excited to have him at the club. Been proven with Leicester, so it was a no-brainer for me. Then this man comes up on our scouting list last year when we was at Brentford, Sean Manduke. Nigerian, only 20 years old. Very, very good. Mentals are good. Physicals are brilliant. Technicals are very good as well. When we started scouting him at Brentford, they wasn't too sure. Got my scouts here who have got better ratings to actually have a look at him. And they said that he had the potential to be much better than Jimenez. I'll tell you now, when we look at the other striker who we bought in for this season, just how good this kid is. We spent 55 million on Erling Haaland. What a player. I know he's been signed by a lot of other people. I know that people have had massive success with him. He come up on our scout reports, and the fact that he was available for a transfer, it just seemed like an absolute no-brainer to me. Very, very good. Hasn't yet scored, though, in pre-season, which is a little bit concerning, so we'll have to see how that goes. Brought him in on a massive wage, but he's got to be worth every penny. However, this little chap here, who's 20 years old, has the potential to be better than Haaland. So that speaks about his quality. So we're hoping that he realises that potential. And then last but not least, we're looking for somebody to shore up the midfield. We're a little bit weak in central midfield. Up pops a little message from his agent that he's been put on a transfer list at Liverpool, deemed surplus to requirements. Captain fantastic, none other than Jordan Henderson. Look at them mentals. Physically still very good for his age. We've only got him on a 12-month contract. He is obviously winding down. If he plays well this season, and he's doing well with the mentoring of the youngsters, which is the real reason why I brought him in, truth be told, because I've got some very good young midfielders coming through. I think Henderson will be a perfect role model for him. So if he does his job well, what I'd like to do ideally is bring him in again on another 12-month contract and maybe even push him through his coaching badges, bring him in as backroom staff because he's just fantastic. So today then, we're playing Brighton. I'm going to try not to make the video too long, guys, so we are going to get into it as soon as possible. And this is the 11 that we're going to line up then. We've got Mannion in goal, Chilwell, Kahneman, Bowley and Aarons at the back. Dendoncker and Henderson in the midfield with Sigurdsson, Neto and Gibbs-White in the mids and then Haaland up front. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Very excited about this squad. I think we can do bits. I really do. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's see how we get on. Come on. Football Manager at its finest. So they line up then in quite an interesting formation in the 4-3-3. Like to see that. A few names there who we recognise. Obviously Walker-Peters on the right hand side. They've got Xherdan Shaqiri as well. Nice little lineup there, to be fair, for Brighton. So it'd be interesting to see how we get on. I'm going to assertively tell them that I expect nothing but a win from this match. Because it's time. It's definitely time. Right. I've been told it's fit enough to play. Now, what we do need to do is, when we click play, is pause it straight away. Because pre-season, I always just skip through the games pretty much. We don't want only commentary. We want key highlights. Right then, guys, let's get into it as Bowley brings the ball forward. Sigurdsson down the left-hand side. Oh, a great tackle from Walker-Peters. Early on with pressing, which is nice to see. Pedro Neto with the free kick and Gibbs-White. It's just heads wide. Ooh. I'm excited. Clock's ticking away now. 10-minute mark. We are very dominant at the moment, but not getting anything for the early domination, which is always a worry. Brighton now. Walker-Peters to Shaqiri, but it's cleared. To start proper. Haaland intercepts. That's brilliant from the pressing forward. The youngster now cuts inside, left foot. You'd expect a lot better for 55 million, wouldn't you? Jesus Christ. Demand more out of the boys. They're already feeling pressure, which is not good. It messed with the corner. Roberts. Mounans there. And to be honest, I thought we'd be ahead already by now. Ben Chilwell then brings the ball forward. He's got loads of options in front of him. Spreads it out wide to Neto. Or Neto. Max Aarons goes past his man, finds Gibbs-White, puts it over to Sigurdsson, and that's a beautiful finish and a well-worked goal. This is what we're looking for. Honestly, I'm so excited about this season. I do think we're going to come up against obviously much better teams than Brighton. I think that we're going to have very, very difficult games. But this squad has really got potential, and I think the more that they play together, the better off we're going to be. They're looking to press forward now. Probably a brilliant challenge by Henderson, but it does go straight back to him. A ball over the top. Besseden's in and a great save. And Chilwell stops it from going out, which is lovely to see. And then he just gets stuck in the mud for some reason. Now with the free kick. Over to Haaland at the back. Oh, and Haaland knots it back across the goal. I actually thought it was Gibbs-White who headed that in, but it's deemed as an own goal, so we'll have to see this again. Nods it down. Gibbs-White does hit it. Oh, and the defender tries to clear it, but it just bounces off his head. That is unfortunate. But Wolves 2, Brighton 0. We'll take that. Shaqiri with the corner for them. Oh. Close one, boys. Close. We don't want to be conceding goals here, really. And Haaland's picked up an injury, which is a disaster. Injured in the lower leg injuries. That could be a calf. Oh, I don't know how happy I am about that. 55 million to not score and get injured in your first game. That could be a catastrophe. Gibbs-White with the free kick. Bowley's there. I was going to say, what a brilliant save from Werner. He's a little bit unlucky there, but Bowley on the follow-up. Nice. I mean, the header was fantastic. It was driven down as well towards the ground. Really good save, you got to say. It was more at the keeper than I thought it was originally. Not as good as I first thought. Sorry, folks. But we gotta we gotta big up the team. I mean, we're very comfortable here at the moment. Time ticks away then, and we are now at half time. We are going to tell the boys, you might be winning, but that could all still change. Don't get complacent. Go back out there and finish the job. We want to start the season in style. Clock's ticking away. No highlights in this second half so far at all. We're now 15 minutes in. Coming up for 20 minutes in and nothing happening really. Just ticking away, ticking away and ticking away. Let's give them a little get creative. Inspired and pressured. Henderson taking the free kicks. We're going to have to take that one off. But Pedro Neto looks like he's picked up a knock as well. This is not the start that we wanted. Obviously, players taking injuries is really not what we want. Oxlade-Chamberlain is not going to be an inside forward or an inside winger. Chilwell with the throw-in. Finds Gibbs-White. Back to Chilwell. Plays it inside to Dendoncker. Back to Chilwell. Can he get a ball in? No. Back to Dendoncker. All the way back to Kenneman. Plays it all the way back to the keeper, and that feels like a very wasted opportunity. Ball up, cleared. Sigurdsson does pick up the second ball, though. Over the top for Menduke. Oh, I can't get it. Henderson, Gibbs-White, and what a strike that is, lad. Pick that out the back of the net, Werner. Take it, suck it. What a goal. That's delightful. Brilliant ball over the top for Madueke. You got to say, originally, tries to header it, just misses. Roberts clears only as far as Henderson. Lovely ball and then turns, bang, top bins. That is lovely. 4-0 now as we go top of the Premier League. Obviously, it's the first game of the season. Let's not get carried away. But a very impressive performance against the Brighton side who have not been able to break us down in any way, shape or form. Only 4 shots on goal, 2 of them on target. And very, very much domination station there. So, I'm very happy with the result and the way you played. That's where we're going to leave it today. Now, we're just going to have a look at the old schedule to see where we'll come back. I don't want to be going too far at the minute with all the games. So, what we'll do is we'll play Huddersfield and Chelsea, which will be our first real kind of test by fire, if you like. And we'll come back for the Tottenham game. We'll play Tottenham at home, see how we get on. I'm very excited. I hope you're very excited. If you are excited for the season, don't forget to smash the like button down there. If you're new around here, please do subscribe. We're uploading on every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. That's all from me today, folks. Take it easy. Much love. Thank you for the continued support.